You gonna start?
Oh shoot, man! I didn't know you hit the button. Hey! How are you, people? How we doing out there in the world?
And today on Vet Pittman Life, what are we talking about?
What we talking about? I always gotta be goofy. All right. Today we got a few topics that we wanted to discuss. So that we came up with, and we gonna start it off with the first topic. Why did Why did you want to get married?
Now, when you say why do we want to get married, you mean just like in general, not like to each other, right?
Um. Yes.
Um. So I think for me, I wanted to get married because I wanted to have like that partnership and friend, like best friend that I'm with, like every day that I can do everything with.
Mm-hmm.
It and also to have that family life where mom and the dad and the kids together and just be that family. Like I feel like as a kid, my best times were when my mom and my dad was together and we did like all these family activities, like going on trips, going to Six Flags, going to park, like fishing, cookouts, like all those types of things, just being together, with my parents and my siblings. So I definitely witnessed like my mom, my dad, they leave us with my grandmom or my great grandmom, and then a couple times, not a lot, but a few times they went on like their little own vacations and just kind of just had that time together, and they would get dressed and go out with their friends, like. So I wanted that, like that's just it, forever best friend
Mm-hmm.
to like always be with. Why did you want to get married?
It was similar to what you said, some of the key points, but more so because I always wanted that family life.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of friends I had growing up had a mom and a dad at home. And I had my mom, but my dad wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just like, and it was like, that's something I always wanted.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to experience the family life because all my friends had their mom and dad. So sometimes I go over there and it's like I enjoyed it, but then it's like at the same time it's like, damn, this what it's like.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never get to experience that. So, and plus I always promised myself once like I had kids, if I had kids, I was gonna give them a family.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to get married also to have somebody that to spend my life with, just to be happy with, just that I know that's gonna be there. That no matter what ups downs, we just gonna grow old together and spend your life together. Like my great grandma, like her husband, like watching them as they got older, like when I was growing up and seeing them make it to that age together.
Mm-hmm.
But like he passed away before she did, but he lived to be I think like 90,
Mm-hmm.
94, and she lived to be like 100 and 103, 102, 103.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, man, like to see that love is like, man, I want to experience that. Just to have somebody there every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely. That's definitely like one of the things that I want to just have an everyday to experience just life with and go through like all the different like happiness and great things and even like the trials and tribulations. So like with that, do you feel like you had expectations going into marriage? Like,
I just my only expectation was I wanted to be happy.
really?
I
Like,
wanted to.
seriously? Like, you don't
I
even think?
literally.
Because, like, all the time you hear, like, people talking about how they thought their wife was going to be, like, cooking, the cook and the cleaning and...
Not see because the way I grew up, my mom taught me to cook, to clean, how to clean properly, how to cook, and all that. So it wasn't the expectations because she told me like you might like if you don't get married, you gotta feed yourself.
Yeah.
Or if you marry somebody, they don't know how to cook or they know how to cook that well to your liking, so you know how to cook. So that was never an expectation of mine. So I just wanted to be happy and live a happy life and enjoy my life with this person. I didn't have no expectations of what she's supposed to do versus what I'm supposed to do. I just like we just know what we're gonna do. We just live our life together. We just go. Like we just enjoy our life every day.
Like, even, well, even, like, within your relationship, like, balancing, like, within your relationship, did you think it was, like, certain things that would kind of, like, happen? I'm just asking because I was, with our YouTube channel, like, watching a lot of other couples' YouTube channels and listening, like, people have had, like, even just, like, within their relationship, they have roles that they be thinking the other's gonna play. Like, me, personally, in marriage, not just in marriage, but any
I
relationship
don't.
in general.
You can't set roles until see. I don't like that standard that they set on women and men what they're supposed to do in the relationship or in the marriage. I said those things develop as y'all grow together because then that's when y'all learn each other's strengths and each other's weaknesses. So you know what you need to do,
Yeah.
and you know what like all right, I'm gonna leave that up to you because you're stronger in that.
Gotcha.
So you take over that role. Like
for me, I feel like the only expectation I have in a man, and I know you already know what I'm going to say, cars, fixing stuff, building anything, like getting rid of the little mice.
it still doesn't hurt to learn and to know how to be able to do these things.
True. This is very true. However, I still feel like that's the man job.
Okay.
I help out taking out the trash. But you got the cars, something break, you fix it, like, and I feel like that's probably because that's how my dad is, so that's probably where I get it from.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, but I feel like that's the only kind of, like, role thing that I was expecting in a marriage. Not that you don't do that, you do that. But I don't think when I told you, because I was very upfront when we was dating, like saying, like, yo, this part is all you. I don't do those things. Well, I don't think you really.
You saying
you don't really, but I don't really think like you really took it in and believed like to the extent like that I meant. I'm like, oh, she's really not gonna do. She's really not. She can't even go get her own car oil. Like,
I don't know. I guess see that's the difference in me. My mom, she was a single woman, but like my mom, she knew how to do things.
yeah.
So it was until I got older where she, like I learned how to do it. She like, all right, allow me to do it. So it was
true.
like things that she had to do because it was just her. She didn't have nobody do it. Like she had my grandpa. Like she can call to do some of the stuff, and then like he would pull me along.
Yeah.
So he would teach me. Like he would make me go with him to paint,
Yeah.
or go like he would show me how to fix stuff. Like come look at this.
Yeah.
So I would learn how to do stuff.
Gotcha.
So like I learned like as I grew, but it was just like
my mom knew, and when my dad did things, she asked questions, and my dad would teach her how to do it. So in case he wasn't around, she knew how to do it. She wouldn't be stuck like looking for him. Cause you know they coming from a time like cell phones came out. Cell phones came out what when we was like high school or whatever. So it's like oh wow. That's when cell phones came out. So but you know, in their time, especially like, you know, when we was younger, like our kids' age, it wasn't no cell phone. So you know, you kind of stuck. If you ain't home, like I don't know how to catch you. So it's like he made sure she knew how to do things. So like now my mom, she very like hands on. She a real Mrs. Fix It type.
Yeah.
But that didn't.
That ain't gonna stop her from.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. So she knows.
Like my mom ain't do mice. She did everything but mice. Like it's a mouse on track. Hey, yo, hey son, go get that. Like I'm not touching that. Like no. Even when I was younger, she was just like. She would call my uncle, my grandpa, like, oh, I gotta come get this. She's like, it's a mouse, it's on the trap, but it's, so what? I gotta come get it. It's one thing she ain't never do.
Is there, you know, that idea of trying to learn how to do certain things on your own, that didn't, honestly, I didn't get that from my mom.
But before we get off topic,
okay.
We just don't want to go too much of rant.
Okay.
We why you wanted to get married in general, cool, but why did you want to get married to me? God, let's hear this one.
Cause you just so attractive, and I just look at you. I was like, oh, I gotta have him. Say no.
Y'all smell that? I smell that bullshit. Yeah, that's that bullshit. The abuse. Okay.
It's every video he get hit at least once. He say something.
Whatever. Cause you go.
Anyway, it was supposed to be a joke. You were supposed to laugh.
Ready for that one. All right, come on, stop. We're supposed to be displaying love.
Okay. Anyway, why did I want to? One, I felt like we had just a natural connection, like, and we had the same, what's the word? Like, thought process and like goals and ideas of what we wanted in marriage and in a future together, in a future, you know, for our kids. Like we both wanted to give that family life. We both came from places of you know, I felt relationships from what the people we had children with, and we still wanted to bring our kids together and still be able to like show them that yeah, it didn't work out with your other parent, but you can still love somebody and be with somebody and be a family. So that idea aspect of it, like, you know, that was something we both was like right on the same page with. And then the other thing is just like we was just dope ass friends. Like we just we just friends, and you know, we've been so open, so vulnerable, so like stripped down, naked, like mentally and emotionally, that it's like, yo, I done seen your bad side. So it's like, it's just, and we became a partnership. So that was like the biggest thing that made me, like, we became a partnership. It's like, for me, coming from being a single mom and then being in and having previous relationships and, you know, cooking for the kids and being the last person to eat and this and the third. Nobody wash the dishes or think like, oh, you cook, let me wash the dishes. And then all of a sudden it's, you know, the six of us eating dinner every Thursday, and then after dinner you in the kitchen washing dishes, and I'm like, well, why you doing the dishes? And it's just like, you cook. I gotta do the dishes. So it's just like a natural progression of just a partnership. And all in all, that has grown, like, there's the growth over time over the past 4 years. It's just like continues to grow and gets like stronger. But it's just, that was ultimately like, yo, like, now it's to the point where if I try to do something, doesn't, and I'm not doing it without you, or build something without, your input or your help, like your help to build it, doesn't feel right. Because like, we're like, for me, I'm like, we're literally like one person.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to marry you, because you became attached to me, literally.
Appreciate.
What's your answer? Come on, bro.
See, yeah, I don't really have an answer for that one right now. But stop playing. You play too much. Stop trying to punk me on camera, yo. It's not funny. I don't want to kiss right now. I'm talking. I don't want to kiss right now. I ain't forget what I was gonna say. It's just really because it was something that I never experienced. Like, I never had nobody like make me feel appreciated. Like, make me feel like they really loved me. So it was just like, I felt like, honestly, like I was always trying to like approve of somebody's love, like reach for somebody's love, and it's like I never felt, if they did, I never felt it. It's like I just wanted to feel like I wanted to be loved, and so it's like I didn't have to put this wall up. I didn't have to guard myself. I didn't have to, like, I didn't feel like I had to perform for you, be somebody I wasn't, just to make you feel like to make you like me more. I didn't have to go above and beyond. So it was just like, man, like, who wouldn't, you would be crazy not to want to be with somebody that you can be like that with. Like, where you can be that open with. And you can be naturally you, and they love you for you. They don't love you for nobody, nothing else but you. Not what you can do for them. What they can get out of you. Because that's what you get a lot. So it was just like, man, like, you never asked me for nothing. No, I'm like, you know, when you date and you be like, you'll mention something like, or can you do this? Can you help me out with this? Like that. But it ain't like, you never asked me like, oh, I seen these boots I wanted. I seen this bag I wanted. Oh, I need money for this. I need money for that. You wasn't that type of person, so it wasn't like, it wasn't nothing that I had to put my guard up.
Gotcha.
It wasn't nothing I had to worry about. So, and it was just like, our connection was crazy. And it was just like, we came together. It's like, you came into my life, and I use this in our vows, like, and you fit just like a glove. Nothing ever stopped. Everything just kept flowing. So it was just like, I can't let this go.
Gotcha.
So why let this go? And you're happy. So I was like, why not marry?
To, like, with all of that, do you think, like, we spent a lot of time planning for the wedding? Did we work just as hard planning for the wedding as we did planning for our marriage?
I say no, because the way we communicated, it was just like continuing planning. And like the way we talk, We just
Wait, I'm sorry. So no, that we didn't spend enough time planning for the marriage.
no, we plan. No, you asked me, did we plan more for the marriage
Marriage
or
for
more for
the
the
wedding.
wedding? No, I'm saying no. We didn't plan more for the wedding. We
Okay,
planned more for like the marriage
gotcha.
because it was just how we talk and
Yeah,
how we communicated, and we always planned stuff ahead.
yeah,
And then and it's just like how we were is once we just said I do, it just made it final.
yeah,
It wasn't nothing changed, nothing miraculously, magically just changed about it. It was just now we're together now.
yeah. I agree with that. And then, cause like even like with marital counseling, like we was real serious about doing counseling, and like our assign like the things that we did, like we checked in with each other when it
Mhm.
was time to read. Like when he gave us the books, we sat and we read together. Like we answered the questions in the book together. When we went to counseling, after counseling, we talked about like how'd you feel about this in counseling, what you feel about that. Like we spent a lot of time planning and not planning, but like discussing and making sure like we were comfortable, and like if it was something that we didn't say in counseling, we would talk when we talked about it later. We would talk about it and like even just go even more depth with the conversations that we had in counseling. So,
Yeah.
like you said, nothing. It's like we came back from our honeymoon and it was like, damn, we back to reality. like,
Yeah, like nothing really
yeah,
changed. We just, but the wedding it was something that we spent like almost a year planning,
yeah,
bit little by little. So it wasn't like we didn't put more on a wedding than marriage. Like we were just by us dating really prepared us for
yeah.
what we were really gonna do.
True. And then even
And
before,
then
just like talking to each other, like when we get married, would you want this or would you want that? Like, while we're married, like certain things and goals we would want for us as a couple. Like, we made sure that we discussed those things too.
yeah. Now, do you think you fell in love with the idea of being married?
Um, Before we met, yeah. But by the time we met, it wasn't more like I felt like before we met, um, like I would say maybe about like the year before we met almost. I was so like determined or like stuck on the idea of finding the one and getting married that I found myself dating people that I should have like stayed far away from. It was like kind of one of those things where they say like men can smell the desperation,
Mm-hmm.
and like I felt like I found myself in situations where the guy could smell the desperation of me because I was just so engrossed in the idea like I'm dating for purpose and I'm trying to be married and da 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 da,
Mm-hmm.
and so I found myself in a bad situation, and then I just like what it really I felt like there was God like checking me, like pump your brakes, sis. like go sit down, relax. When it's your time, it'll come. And then I kind of that's what I had to do. Like I had to pump my brakes and then just kind of rechange my focus to just being like not really about my thinking about just living for myself, but more so just living. Because I
Mm-hmm.
spent so much time like as a single mom and just doing everything centered around the kids that I was missing out on actually living life.
Yeah.
So so I just started living, and then I started living. Then bam, this guy comes.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's like, but now it's like it's even better because now I have someone to like live life with and just do certain things with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Because your friends, they be down for stuff, but sometimes, sometimes some people be like, oh yeah, we do that. And then sometimes they be, oh no, I'm not doing that. Not at all. Like, so then you be like, oh, I don't want to do it by myself. But like with us, when you have a partner, like one of the things, not all spouses do, but we definitely do. It's like if it's something one really wants to try or really wants to do, it's like let's go it. Like I at least I always give you one round. If I hate it, like I'll be like, no, I'm not doing that again. Not doing it again. But if it's cool, like I definitely we had fun. Oh, we going back. We doing that again. Like we keep doing that. So sure. I think we both do that. We do that for each other. We come in with like that open mind. Like, all right, you want to try this? I'm gonna try it with you. If I don't like it, I ain't doing this shit again. But we had fun. We in there all the time. We coming back with friends.
Yeah. That's true. Like me, that fall in love with the idea of being married. No, I didn't fall in love with the idea of being married because I say that because a lot of people want to get married just to say they were married. If they don't want to put in the work.
Yeah.
They don't want to put that work. Everybody want to get married, but don't nobody want to put that work in. Don't nobody want to like deal with it, the ups and downs and all that. So it was just like I never like before I met you. Like, nah, I never did. And then like before when I was married, I just got married because my son was like she got pregnant with my son, and I thought that's what I had to do to like be here. And then like the promise I made to myself, like, all right, for him I'm gonna create a family.
Yeah,
I can do this. But then like that kind of fell through. But
true.
The idea of it, nah, I just
you never came up like you never like had like the goal like of just marriage in general.
I thought about it like how would it have been like if I wanted to be married, how I want my family to be, how I wanted to like, but I never was like pressed about it. Like, oh, I gotta get married. It wasn't the goal.
Originally,
I just had that thought like if it happens, it happens.
Originally, like I was like, I'm not getting married. Like at all. Like I'm not that girl that been planning her wedding since she was 10. Like, I was just like, I'm not getting married. I don't think forever is a thing. Like, Carmen Diaz said something on Oprah one day, and I lived by that for a minute. Basically, she was just like, she didn't believe in marriage, and she was just saying, like, how can you commit to one person for forever? Like, I don't even know if I want to act for forever. Like, so it was just like, yeah, and then the idea after with her saying it, I like kind of took that in and thought about it because all the relationships around me that I looked up to, like they all fell apart, like, and then they weren't like short-term relationships; they were long-term relationships. I think my parents was together like 13, 14 years before they separated. So it was like that. You see all these relationships. It was like, oh, so. Not only she saying it, but that shit is really real. Like, people could think of one thing for forever. So I kind of lived by that. But then that was the naive relationship. Because then I fell in love. I got a little older. And I'm like, oh. And then I had joined Lana, and I wanted to get married. Like, I was with this person for years. We got 2 kids. Like, I got caught up in the idea. At that moment, when I got caught up in the idea of being married because I felt like, no, I want to have the same last name as my kids. Like, be all together, like, you should. And then once we separated, it was just like, the idea was like, no, I do want to get married. But I realized, like, when I get married, I want it to be for forever. Like, I don't want to get married to get divorced. Like, I'm getting married divorce is not on the table. It's not a discussion. It's not an option. I don't care how, like, unless you beating me, like, we gonna have to figure it out. Like,
well, then stop hitting me.
I'm sorry, baby.
Don't say sorry if you're gonna do it again. That doesn't.
I love him. I don't beat on people. He just said that. I might do
The
a little.
first 5 minutes, y'all seen what happened. Y'all seen me go like this. Like, you can't fake that. I had to realize you just bitch me on camera. Like, wait, stop trying to bitch me in front of people. You doing that, like, you make me look like I'm soft.
I'm sorry. He is not soft. He's not soft at all.
Nah, but
Yeah.
did you have any expectations of marriage?
That the only expectation I had of marriage is just like you said, of being happy. I didn't have like that kind of like fairy tale idea how they say some women have. Like you think every day is gonna be flowers and butterflies and you're gonna be skipping together. Like I didn't think that. Like I just thought like even on not that we really have rough days or off days, but even on the days where I'm kind of like blah, and you just like whatever, I'm home. Like and you chilling, like it's still I'm still happy. Like so I always thought that I feel like that was the only expectation that I was always going to be happy, and I was just always going to have somebody by my side, you know, regardless of what. Like, so just always by my side. And the Mr. Fix It around the house stuff, that's it. That was about. So you know, that was my only like. I can say is my only real expectation of marriage. I didn't. Everything else, I didn't think. I guess for me, like becoming a wife, I didn't think it would be like you would have all these different emotions about it, and you would just go through like all these different like phases and thoughts and stuff like that. I didn't. That was something I didn't know what was going to happen. That has happened.
Gotcha. Me, expectations.
You already said you didn't have none.
I'm not saying, nah, I just want to be happy. I just want to just enjoy the rest of our lives, just being happy. And I know the bullshit gonna come, but as long as, like, we enjoying each other.
So, what else we got to say? Nothing?
Oh, what else say?
We got a wrap? It sounds like a wrap.
It's a wrap. Good, because I'm hungry. Eat. Then go to sleep. I have to work in the morning.
Yeah.
She got me up to like 12 o'clock
It's
at
11
night.
o'clock. It's 11 o'clock.
I'm,
It's 11 o'clock.
I'm on camera like, I burnt.
It's 11 o'clock. No, it was better to wait for the little dirty kids to go to bed to record a video.
Which 30 kids?
The ones
The
that
four
don't have fur.
the 4 in there or the 11 over here?
Yo, we got puppies, yo.
Anybody want a puppy? Let us know.
No, we're talking about the 4 in the other room. Because they be loud and yelling.
True.
So let us know, like, what was your goal? Like, when did you decide to have a goal to get married? Like,
what was your expectations on marriage?
And people who are ready to marry, do you feel like now, especially now that you're already married, do you feel like if you think back to getting engaged and stuff, did you spend more time getting ready for the wedding and just thinking like, oh my God, I'm finally getting married, let me plan my wedding day? Or did you spend more time like planning for your marriage and connecting with your then fiance, now husband, so that your marriage can be strong? Let us know.
Yeah.
Comment.
We like to hear. We like to know, because like hearing different people's stories is like sometimes it's like
crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like you never know. Everybody's journey different. Nobody has the same path. So it'd be good to get some feedback. Let us know. Oh yeah, please don't forget to hit that like button right there. Thumbs up, thumbs down. It don't matter if you dislike. We don't expect everybody to like this now. But if you want to hit the little like button, subscribe, share it, let somebody else know. Somebody else could benefit from this. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
Share the wealth.
Wealth is health.
Until next time, people.